So if you've ever wanted to know why beer festivals happen, you know, there's the obvious, you go because you want to have a beer. In this little feature, we're speaking to some of the best craft brewers in Ireland at beer festivals so that you can hear from the brewers, the owners, the organisers, why a beer festival is important and what you should expect to get out of a beer festival. So let's go and check it out, chat to some of the brewers.
The benefits for us is primarily just chatting to other brewers. Like, we have a pub and the brewery in Limerick, so we don't leave Limerick a lot. So it's fun for us to get out and chat to people, try their beer, ask them, you know, what processes they were doing. Just try and learn as much as we can and try to avoid hangovers as much as we can.
The benefits of events like this from the point of view of the breweries is that brewing can be a kind of solitary occupation, and often we don't get to meet our brother and sisters in brewing. So it's good to have events like this where we can meet the public, meet the people who buy our beers and speak to them, but also spend a bit of time with other brewers. We exchange ideas, we feel more collegiate, and it helps with the general feeling, which is extremely prevalent in brewing anyway, that we should all help each other.
The benefits are just because it's amazing. We meet a lot of good breweries, good people, good customers. Je peux parler français à beaucoup de clients, donc c'est super intéressant. Actuellement, je passe un super bon moment avec des bonnes bières et des bonnes personnes.
Merci.
Pas de souci.
For this event, which is a fantastic event, benefits for us to come up here to get our beers, and so the wider community, people who might not have tasted our beers before, can now come, grab a pint, see what the different breweries in Ireland kind of can produce, because it's such a diverse kind of portfolio of beers that Ireland produces. Not just IPAs, we have stouts, we have lambics, Belgian beers, everything you want. So for a festival like this to happen, where people outside of the main cities can come up and, you know, get a chance to explore the different beers, it's fantastic.
Yeah, well, I think the guys up at Errigal, in terms of hosting the event, it's good for them to connect with all the other brewers. So brewing is a very collaborative industry, so it's great for us to, like, we get to see the same sort of people and meet new people as well. Everybody's facing the same challenges and has the same opportunities, so it's good to share knowledge and share camaraderie, and it's also great to educate the public and put a face to the brand, because that's the hardest thing for breweries in Ireland, north and south, is to have that consumer-facing side. So getting access to market is so difficult, and it's very hard to convey your brand on a can or a bottle on a shelf. Because people have to pick it up and interact with it, and they can't find out where the beer is made very easily. Whereas if you're bringing people to the brewery, they get to see what the brand's about, and they can engage with the brand, and then they can go and tell their friends. And whenever they go to the shop, they're more likely to purchase the brand because they've been engaged with it.
Having been as a punter and as a sort of exhibitor at different beer festivals around the country, like, we decided to bring one to, like, very rural Donegal here, because it sort of gives a chance for local people to see that, you know, for so long, like, the big four beers have just been sort of blasted down our throat, and no more so is that apparent that in rural Ireland, it's all Guinness, Smithwick's, just the same rhetoric over and over and over. So these sort of events allow us as brewers to sort of bring, like, the sort of wider field of beers, which used to be so prevalent in our country. It also allows brewers to connect, have a chat, talk about, you know, what's working in your brewery, what's not working in your brewery, what's this new hop oil, what's the new fucking hipster cool hop blend. It's just, yeah, it's just as fun bringing beer to people who wouldn't normally have access to this sort of beer, as well as, yeah, connecting with other brewer mates, like, and, yeah, chat and shop. It's all good, man.
Tip for homebrewers: focus on process rather than recipe. Experiment as much as you can, because that's the fun part of home brewing. We don't get to do quite as much of that as you do if you're making 20-litre batches. Enjoy it and share it with friends.
Oof, don't do it. No, my favorite tips, best tips for home brewers. Keep trying, keep tasting, join a club, because it's always better to do that sort of thing collaboratively. Use good equipment. We know a reliable supplier in the north, and have fun. Don't be afraid to try things.
Oh, the biggest tip for home brewing would be to give it time. We started home brewing 25 years ago, maybe, and that's what got us into where we are now. But we've dumped so many batches just because we thought there was something wrong, or there was something, the beer wasn't right. When all you do is just give it time. Making beer is a beautiful process, and most of it involves time and just making sure that the environment for the beer is right. So give it time, people, and keep at it, because it's one of the most rewarding hobbies in the world.
Number one tip for homebrewers is to keep it simple. So don't try and overcomplicate things. If you're changing a recipe and you want to see what one ingredient, so say a different hop does to your IPA or your pale ale, or different malt does to a multi beer style, change one variable at a time, and then you can see what the impact has, rather than changing multiple variables at a time. And try not to overcomplicate recipes. Keep them as simple as possible. So if you've got like a fraction of a gram or whatever, don't worry about it. Just put 5 grams in, or don't worry about doing it to the very nth degree. But that's my number one tip for homebrewers.
I suppose it's something which is repeated often, is that sterility is key. It's like cleanliness, cleanliness, cleanliness. Even though at the professional level, after starting from homebrewing and doing mixed fermentation, some people think that it's not as important to be clean, but even in our environment, sterility is so important. So we're basically glorified cleaners who do a little bit of brewing on the side, so yeah, clean that shit.
So that gave you a little bit of an insight into the beer festival that we've had here at Inaugural and in County Donegal. Beautiful location, genuinely lovely people that put on the event. Very privileged to call them friends, and we had some incredible brewers here. Me, what did I take out of it? I had a great time chatting to people in and around the bars, people local to us that never heard of us, people from far afield. They just wanted to talk about beer, about the different elements that make up that beer, what they could expect to taste from that. Catching up with brewers, seeing how they're finding things, just getting a feel for what the vibe's like in the market. Then we went surfing. We had some beers and needed to go surfing the following morning. We had a great time in the sea. Thanks so much to the organisers behind all of this. We were privileged to be able to sponsor part of it by giving glassware and things, but this has been a really nice couple of days for brewers to just go chill out, meet nice people, talk about beer in an unpretentious manner, just chilled out, surrounded by nature, and great experience for us. Hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, happy brewing.